يفنى الكل ويبقاه ليس الباقي إلا هو الله 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 ما لي رب إلا هو.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ومن الناس من يقول آمنا بالله وباليوم الآخر وما هم بمؤمنين يخادعون الله والذين آمنوا وما يخدعون إلا أنفسهم وما يشعرون في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله مرضا ولهم عذاب عليم بما كانوا يكذبون وإذا قيل لهم لا تفسدوا في الأرض قالوا إنما نحن مصلحون ألا إنهم هم المفسدون ولكن لا يشعرون وإذا قيل لهم آمنوا كما آمن الناس قالوا أنؤمن كما آمن السفهاء ألا إنهم هم السفهاء ولكن لا يعلمون. صدق الله العظيم. Okay. Now I read from ayat number 8 to ayat number 13. The second. I'm going to translate what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying there to you. Allah ta'ala is saying in the Holy Quran, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَقُولُ آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ وَبِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَمَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. Allah is saying, and there are some people who say, in other words, there are those amongst people, okay? And there are some people who say, we believe in Allah and in the last day. There are some people who say this, okay? They claim, we believe in Allah and in the last day. And yet, they are not of those who believe. How more clear? There's nothing more clear than the Quran. Okay? وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَقُولُ آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ وَبِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَمَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. Okay? And there are some people who say, we believe in Allah and in the last day. And yet they are not of those who believe. After that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, what do they do after that day? يُخَادِئُونَ اللَّهَ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَمَا يَخْدَعُونَ إِلَّا أَنفُسَهُمْ وَمَا يَشْعُرُونَ. Okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, they attempt to deceive Allah. They attempt to deceive Allah and the believers. But in reality, they deceive none but themselves. But in reality, they deceive none but themselves. And still, they perceive this not. Still, they can't see it. Okay? I'm just simplifying here and there. Thereafter, what is being said? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, after that, في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله مرضا. في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله مرضا ولهم عذاب عليم بما كانوا يكذبون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, they have in their hearts a disease. في قلوبهم مرض. They have in their hearts a disease. فزادهم الله مرضا. So Allah has intensified their disease. They have a disease. Allah has intensified their disease. في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله مرضا وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ عَلِيمٌ بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْذِبُونَ. And for them is an excruciatingly painful torment. And for them is an excruciatingly painful torment, a retribution for their lies. A retribution for their lies, for their kidhb. Okay? For their deception. Thereafter what he said, وَإِذَا كِيلَ لَهُمْ لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ قالوا إنما نحن مصلحون. ألا, Quran is warning. ألا إنهم هم المفسدون ولكن لا يشعرون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, and when they are told وإذا قيل لهم لا تفسدوا في الأرض, and when they are told, do not cause strife, do not cause fitna on the earth. Do not cause strife on the earth. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to them very clearly, وَإِذَا كِيلَ لَهُمْ لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ قَالُوا إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُصْلِحُونَ. Okay? And when they are told, do not cause strife on the earth, Allah is saying about them, and when they are told, do not cause strife, corruption on the earth, they say, we are simply reformers. What we are? Makes sense? Is ringing some bells. Huh? How clear the Quran is. I'm not giving the explanation here, I'm just reading a translation, which I've attempted to do. A simplified translation so you understand the Quran properly, right? And when they are told, do not cause strife on the earth, then they say, we are simply reformers. They say, we are reformers. قالوا إنما نحن مصلحون ألا إنهم هم المفسدون ولكن لا يشعرون. Quran is saying, be guarded. Be guarded. It is they who are the disruptors. Quran is saying, be guarded. It is they who are the disruptors. But they realize not. They can't see, they think that they are reformers. Okay? And thereafter Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to us that وَإِذَا كِيلَ لَهُمْ آمِنُوا كَمَا آمَنَ النَّاسُ قَالُوا أَنُؤْمِنُوا كَمَا آمَنَ السُّفَهَاءُ أَلَا إِنَّهُمْ هُمُ السُّفَهَاءُ وَلَكِنْ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. Okay? And it is said in the Holy Quran, and when they are told, now when they are told, believe just as the others believe. Believe just as the others believe. Then they say, should we believe like the foolish believe? Then they say, should we believe like the foolish believe? What does the Quran say about them? Allah, innahum humus sufaha. The Quran says about them, be wary. It is they who are the foolish. Quran says, be wary. Let it be known. It is they who are the foolish. Yet they know not. They cannot see it. Okay? Very clear. Very, very clear. Ayat number 8 to ayat number 13 of Surah Al-Baqarah. Okay? Very quickly, let's see the commentary of this. A little bit of it. What is being spoken about? Firstly, it is stated from this, it is evident that the path of guidance has not been sealed to them from inception. The path of guidance was not sealed to them from the beginning. They were given the opportunity. Okay? From this it is evident that the paths of guidance have not been sealed to them from inception. As then this would have been an excuse for them. They have made that an excuse that we were not guided, then no guidance came to us. Guidance came, they didn't accept it. Guidance came, they rejected it. So that this may not be an excuse to them. But this is the outcome of their disbelief. This is the outcome of their infidelity, the obstinacy, the rebellious ways, the opposition to the truth, and refutation of the prophets of Allah. This is why this happened. Okay? Refutation and rejection of the prophets of Allah, alayhim salatu wassalam. Salatu taslim. The Mufassirin said, how is this condition? How are they in this condition? How do you understand it? The Mufassirin explained very nice. Like an ill person. Like a sick person who goes completely against his doctor's orders. A sick person who goes against his doctor's orders and then takes poison. Goes against his doctor's orders and takes something poison. In other words, the most harmful thing. That is harming his bimari. So it's like that person who is sick and goes totally against his doctor's orders and takes a poison, think that's a poison to him, that kills him. Whereas there is now no help through any medication for him. Because now he finished, take the poison. Now whatever medicine you give him, kya fayda karega? What benefit it is to him? Then in such case, it is he who is to blame. He who is to blame for his action. You can't blame the doctor. Like that, the message has come. But they rejected the message. They claimed to believe, but they did not believe. They only claimed to believe. Okay? Now, the Shan Nuzul of this verse. The Shan Nuzul of this verse of the Holy Quran. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يَقُولُ آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ وَبِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَمَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. Okay? And there are some people who say we believe in Allah and in the last day, and yet they are not of those who believe. Okay? Concerning the Shan Nuzul of this verse, it is stated that from this verse forward, while explaining the Shan Nuzul, Sadrullah Fadil Radhiyallahu anhu says, from this verse forward, 13 verses have been revealed regarding the munafiqeen. Regarding who? The munafiqeen, the hypocrites. Who in reality were kafir. Who in reality were unbelievers, but pretended to be Muslims. From outside they acted as Muslims. From inside they were kuffar. They were unbelievers. The munafiqeen, 13 verses are talking about them in the very opening second surah of the Holy Quran. I'm expounding. I'm stopping here for 2 minutes. Today people say, why you people say it's either Muslim or kafir openly. There's no in the munafiqeen. And let me tell you, you listen just now, they are the worst. They are the worst of the unbelievers. Okay? That is why we don't do anything with them. We don't accept their zabiha. We don't make salah behind them. Why? Because these are the worst. These are the 13 ayats in the beginning. People say, but why you people the Maulanas are giving lectures? Just speak about the good things. Why are you attacking anybody? What the Quran is doing for 13 verses. What is happening here in the 13 verses? Why are we being warned? Because the Quran is the message of faith and iman. And if you know not about the thieves of iman, how will you look after your iman? Right? So this is what is actually being explained in this tafsir. And where they are telling us that these people were hypocrites, who in reality were unbelievers but pretended to be Muslims. Almighty Allah states, what Allah says about them? وَمَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ وَمَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is stating clearly about them, and yet they are not of those who believe. In other words, they are not believers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying very clearly about them, مَا هُمْ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. They are not from amongst those who have brought faith. In other words, they are not from amongst those who have brought iman. In other words, what is being said here, the Mufassirin, what they are telling us? In other words, to just read the kalima and claim to be a Muslim, to simply read the kalima, to claim to be a Muslim, to pray salah, to keep fast, is not enough to be a believer. It is not enough to be a true believer unless one does not confirm this with his heart. Unless one does not confirm this with the heart. Look what the Quran is. This tafsir is of the words of the Holy Quran. Okay? Now the Mufassirin are saying, here Hazrat Sadullah Fadil is saying something very important, is giving a rule. He said this proves that the same law applies to all those deviants, all those bad mazhabs. The same law applies to all those deviants, misled sects, SECTS sects, that claim to have iman, but have the beliefs of kufr, who have reached this level. In other words, they are regarded as unbelievers and are out of the fold of Islam. They are regarded as unbelievers and out of the fold of Islam, and in the language of the Shariah, in the language of the law. The Shariah is the law. In the language and in the terminology of the Shariah, such people are called munafiq. Such people are called hypocrites. Okay? Today people, don't call him a munafiq. Don't call this a hypocrite. So what is this here? What is the Quran telling us? Samajh? So it is being mentioned here. Okay, that in the language of the Sharia, it is being said that such people are called munafiq. And what is said about them in the tafsir? And they cause more harm and damage than the open believers. They cause more harm and damage than the open believers. Now I'm moving away again to expound from what is written here. Simple for understanding purpose. I want you to understand this properly. You have somebody outside your house, 10 houses away. It's not here, I'm explaining, so we all understand. Somebody 10 houses away from where you live, plotting to kill you. Is it easy? It's not easy. He has to pass 10 houses before he gets to you. He has to think how to get inside your house. How dangerous is he? Very dangerous. But you have somebody inside your house plotting to kill you. Who's more dangerous? That one you know he's plotting to kill you. He is your enemy from a long time. But you have in your house your brother who is trying to kill you. But to you he is your brother, but from inside he is your enemy. Who is more dangerous? Simple, 1 + 1 is 2. You're not going to say at that time when you come to know you are my brother, leave you. You say get out. Out you go. Ukhruj. Out. Why? Because you are a threat to my life and my family. And what about those who are a threat to your iman? Can you understand this? I'm trying to give you a very simple explanation of this. That why these enemies are more detrimental than the open kuffar. Because them we know. Them we know who they are. These ones we think they are ours. And they act like ours. And they behave like ours. And they do everything like ours. But they take you away from the one who will link you in the court of Allah. Who? Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So who is the worst enemy? Have you understood from my example? Okay. I've moved away from this to explain that there, from the actual text that is there. Okay. Now, it is clear here in the tafsir as well that these are people that are more harm to us than the open believers, than the open disbelievers, or the unbelievers. Now, the tafsir says by saying minan nas, wa minan nasi may yaqulu. Okay, by saying the word minan nas, from amongst the people or from the people. Okay, example. By saying minan nas, it is being mentioned here in a particular manner. There's a certain style of explanation by saying minan nas. The people, these people. What is being said? That this group of people are so deprived of the beautiful characteristics and human excellence that they are not being addressed with any status. Not being addressed with any status or any excellence or any noble words or qualities. Nothing good about them is being said. It is just being said that they too are humans. That they are just humans. They are just humans. Nothing more is, they are not being addressed with some level of, they are just being counted as people. Okay? Now you see why this is happening. Okay? If you go back and you see, Allah is addressing them like this. Why? Them especially. These munafiqs. Why? Think about it. These are the people who address the Anbiya like this. Allah is addressing them. Allah is referring to them like this. So the Mufassirin said they are not being given any honorary titles even. They're just being said they are simply people. They are from just amongst the people. The Mufassirin said, from this it is clear that by merely referring to someone as an ordinary human being, there is a hint of rejection of any good or excellent qualities in that person. Right? It is for this reason that many times in the Quran, those who call prophets ordinary humans are being referred to as unbelievers. Can you see how it tied up? How it's been tied up? They called the Nabis. Allah said, you are that. They are the Anbiya. As you go further in the Quran, they are of exalted status. You are just of the people. You cannot compare yourself to the Anbiya Ikram, alayhi salam. And who Allah addressed this talking to about? The unbelievers. Unbelievers. Keep this in your mind as you go on, you'll see. Okay? They are the hypocrites, né? Yes. But they're in the level of the unbelievers. Those who call prophets, ordinary humans, are referred to as unbelievers. To use such words like ordinary human, when talking, or to use such simple words and terms, when speaking about the Anbiya, is far from respect and the manner of, and this is the manner of the unbelievers. It is how they refer to the Anbiya Ikram. That is why when we say our beloved Master Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, we say the coolness of our eyes, we say the peace and the tranquility of our heart, we say the soul of our Iman. Why? Because we try to use the best words. We are talking about Muhammadur Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Okay? Now, some Mufassirin have stated, some commentators have stated, that minan nas was said to create, the word wa minan nas was used to create an astonishment, shock and amazement in the listeners. That there are even such deceitful, corrupt and foolish people amongst the humans. To give you, in humans also they are like this. So that you understand, it wakes you to understand that yes, there are people like this. There are people like this. And the Quran is warning us about them. Inshallah Azim, tomorrow we'll talk about the rest, about them attempting to deceive Allah. Nobody can deceive Allah.
ज़मीनो ज़मां तुम्हारे लिए, मकीनो मकान तुम्हारे लिए।